Hey loved ones, I'm Lucy, and this is Pussy Powered. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips on preparing for self-pleasure. While I have shared a lot about why to self-pleasure, what keeps us from self-pleasuring, what the benefits of masturbation are, this video is about preparing for the self-pleasure practice, not the self-pleasure practice itself. But why do we have to talk about preparing for self-pleasure? Why can't we just get started? As I continue to have conversations with women and hear your feedback, something that I come across a lot is this resistance that women tell me they feel that keeps them from being able to even self-pleasure. This could be for a multitude of reasons, from maybe they had a stressful day, or they're really in their heads after working all day, or maybe years of compounded body disconnection are showing up through this resistance to self-pleasure. There could be some feelings of shame or guilt around touching their own bodies because of beliefs they grew up with or trauma they've experienced around their sexuality. So often it's not as simple as, hey, let's just get in there and start touching ourselves, especially if you go into it with an attitude of self-pleasure equals touching your vulva until you come, which is so much more than that, or at least it can be. So if the idea of self-pleasuring or having a self-pleasure practice feels a little bit daunting or overwhelming, or just like you feel some resistance to it, begin with the tips in this video first. And in fact, even if you are super gung-ho about getting right into your self-pleasure practice, I still recommend that you try these steps before you begin self-pleasuring. Number 1, create a safe container. So what I mean by safe container is not just that it's a physically safe place, right? You're not masturbating like at the side of a cliff where your life is in danger. It's a bit more than that. So obviously your location, that you're in a place where you feel like you can relax and breathe and melt into the pleasure. The time, so deciding ahead of time how long you're gonna spend in this container of self-pleasure, and the tone. So you wanna set a tone that feels comfortable and nurturing and inviting. Probably not an environment that's really sterile or cluttered or busy or feels stressful. And also, in creating your safe container, be sure to let anyone else in your proximity, anyone else who lives with you maybe, let them know not to disturb you during this time. And it's up to you if you want to tell them what you'll be doing. If it's your partner and you're letting them know that you're going to begin this self-pleasure practice, you may be surprised at their response. They may be really excited that you're taking this initiative and taking ownership of your pleasure. And if they're not excited, or if they feel threatened, or they get angry that you're pleasuring yourself, then that is an indication that other conversations need to be happening in your relationship. Tip number 2, breathing. This may seem like an obvious one, but it may be shocking to discover how in your chest and shallow and fast you've been breathing all day, unless you have made it an intentional practice of yours to belly breathe, to breathe deep, to get more oxygen into your brain and your body. Think about this. How much blood flow can your body actually dedicate to pleasure if you're not even getting adequate oxygen? You don't have to feel like you're gasping for air to actually be receiving inadequate oxygen in your body and brain. And actually, if you want to try something that will benefit your health across the board, mentally, emotionally, sexually, physically, you can try a few minutes of practicing nose breathing every day instead of breathing in and out of your mouth. There are so many benefits to this. I'll let you Google that if you wish. But as for when it comes to this tip before you self-pleasure, simply take a few deep belly-filling breaths. You can do some of the breathwork practices that I share. Let your body relax into the breath. Imagine filling your body with love, with the energy of pleasure and relaxation on the inhale, and on the exhale, imagine all of the tension melting away and just leaving your body through that breath. Even just a little bit of that can go a long way. Third tip, movement. There are so many possibilities for this. There are so many possibilities for this. For example, you could turn on some of your favorite sexy music and let your body begin to move. Roll your hips, roll your shoulders, shake your ass. You can get on the floor, get on all fours, and do some sexy movements on the floor. One way I like to think of it is envisioning myself as a wild cat in heat. The key thing here is to not overthink your movements. Get into your body. This doesn't have to look good. This doesn't have to look rehearsed or polished or even sexy. The point of this step is to get you feeling at home in your body, to get you feeling good and in flow in your body, because that is what's gonna help you to begin to shed those layers of tension and self-judgment and that armor that you've probably been carrying around energetically, mentally, emotionally. The fourth tip is to introduce sounds. So this is where it gets extra juicy, especially since the simple making and hearing of sounds adds so much energetically to any experience. So whether that's in your embodiment practices, in preparing for self-pleasure, in self-pleasure itself, in sex itself, sounds are vibration and they add a lot of energy to the experience. So maybe as you are moving on all fours like a wild cat in heat, you can also add some growls, some moans, some groans, some open mouth exhales with your tongue hanging out, and see how that feels. And especially if you simulate your sex noises or you begin to familiarize yourself with what your authentic sex noises are in the first place through practices like these, it helps to create more turn on, signaling to your brain that, okay, it is a safe place to feel good. I can relax here. I can allow the pleasure to emerge. Number 5, full body touch. Again, so often we think of self-pleasure and masturbation as like, let me just get this vibrator down over my clit, rub one out vigorously, and that doesn't work for a lot of women. So if that doesn't work for you, you're not alone, you're not broken. It doesn't mean that you have to go in there harder or at a more intense vibration, or maybe you're using the wrong toy. Sometimes it's just about slowing down and getting back to these basics of body, mind, spirit, energy connection, which is what you've been doing in the previous 4 steps. So now let's add in the element of touch in a gentle and non-threatening way, especially for those of you who have felt pressured to perform in the bedroom, to be penetrated before you're ready, afraid to speak up about what you really want and what your body needs. Your body may be quite shut down, and that's okay. I want you to understand that there is nothing that you need to fix that is broken. Go into this with a mindset of exploration, of self-discovery, of giving yourself permission to release, to let go of the tension, to let go of the armor that you have created around you, probably unintentionally, as a way to keep yourself safe, whether that's physical safety, emotional safety, energetic safety, spiritual safety. So as you begin introducing touch before you self-pleasure, explore all the areas of your body with love and patience and gentleness. You can even begin with just some gentle face touching. This can feel really relaxing and yummy. Take your time, keep breathing, work your way down. You can begin touching your arms. Just feel how pleasurable that is. There is so much sensation, so much pleasurable sensation throughout the entire body that is often neglected because we automatically think, well, my pussy is my erogenous zone, maybe my nipples, and then let's just go ahead and stick something inside my vagina. Like, take your time, breathe into it, and notice which parts of your body feel surprisingly pleasurable to touch. Explore. The self-pleasure practice is not just about coming. This is about you feeling more at home in your body, feeling more permission to feel pleasure in your body, feeling safe in your body, safe enough to have a truly orgasmic life where you can respond to all these different stimuli in your life with such a deep sense of peace and well-being and receptivity to pleasure. So next time, before you begin your self-pleasure practice, try these 5 tips and let me know how it goes. All right, wild ones, that's it for today. 5 tips to help you prepare for self-pleasure. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with some friends, and subscribe for more on sexual empowerment and liberation for women and people with vulvas. And if you're ready to go deeper on your healing journey into self-pleasure, I invite you to pre-register for my new course, Come As You Are. In this course, I'm going into more detail on not only how to self-pleasure and different techniques for different intentions and purposes, but also preparing your mindset to have the most transformational and powerful self-pleasure journey as you continue on your path of self-discovery and pleasure. Again, for more and to pre-register at the early bird price, check out the link below. In the meantime, here's to your awakening and your pleasure for a pussy-powered life.